Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Daily English Dose with Alia Mehar. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever learned a new English word, felt super proud of it, and then completely forgot it the very next day? Be honest. Has that ever happened to you? Well, you are not alone. Almost every learner faces this problem. You study a word, you even write it down. But when the time comes to use it in conversation, poof, it's gone. Why does that happen? And more importantly, how can we actually make new words stick in our memory? That's exactly what we are going to explore today. In this 3-part series, I'll give you a complete, step-by-step guide on how to remember and use new English words with confidence. And trust me, by the end, you'll feel much more in control of your vocabulary learning. So, stay with me till the end. Let's dive in. Think about the last word you tried to learn. Maybe it was fascinating, or motivation, or maybe something simple like delicious. You repeated it a few times, maybe even looked at the meaning, but when you needed to use it, your brain went blank. Why? Because just looking at the meaning of a word is not enough. Our memory doesn't work like a dictionary. We don't memorize words in isolation. We remember them when they are connected to something meaningful, something alive. So today, I'm going to share with you some simple but powerful techniques that will help you never forget a new word again. Here's the first golden rule. Don't learn words alone. Learn them in context. Let me explain. If you just write down apple equals a fruit in your notebook, your brain doesn't get excited. But if you say, yesterday I ate a big red apple and it was so juicy, now the word apple has a story. It has life. So whenever you learn a new word, try to connect it with a sentence, a memory, or even a funny image in your mind. For example, if you learn the word fascinating, don't just remember it means interesting. Instead, make a sentence. The movie was so fascinating that I couldn't stop watching. This way, the word becomes part of your experience, not just a dictionary entry. The second step is to use the word immediately. The first 24 hours are the most important. If you don't use the word during this time, chances are you'll forget it. So here's a practical tip. After learning a word, try to use it in at least 3 different sentences today. You can write a short diary entry, send a message to a friend, or just talk to yourself aloud. For example, let's take the word confident. Right now, make 3 sentences. I feel confident when I practice English every day. She gave a confident smile before the interview. Confidence grows when we stop worrying about mistakes. See? That's already 3 ways to make the word yours. Here's something powerful. Our brain remembers emotions better than plain information. Think about it. You still remember your happiest childhood memory, right? That's because emotions are sticky. So when you learn a new word, try to connect it to an emotion. For example, the word embarrassed. Instead of just memorizing embarrassed equals feeling uncomfortable, think about a time when you mispronounced a word in front of people and felt embarrassed. Now, the word is not just in your notebook, it's inside your story, and your story is unforgettable. Now let me ask you, what's the last word you learned that you completely forgot later? Can you remember it? If yes, think about how you could give it life using these 3 steps. Learn in context. Use immediately. Connect to emotions. If you do this, trust me, your memory will get stronger day by day. Now that we understand the importance of context, usage, and emotion in learning new words, let's take it one step further. You see, remembering vocabulary is not only about repetition, it's about making your brain want to remember. And for that, we need creativity and a few smart tricks. Our brain loves pictures more than plain words. If I say the word elephant, you don't see the letters E-L-E-P-H-A-N-T in your mind, right? You instantly imagine a big gray elephant with long tusks. So here's a practical exercise. Whenever you learn a new word, close your eyes and create a picture for it. The more unusual or funny the picture, the better your brain remembers it. For example, if the word is giant, imagine a giant drinking tea from a tiny cup. It's silly, but that's why you won't forget it. The brain loves unusual images. Another great method is word association. This means connecting a new word with something you already know. For example, let's take the word rapid. It means very fast. To remember it, think of rapid river, a river flowing very fast. Now, whenever you hear rapid, your brain will quickly connect it to fast like a river. Try it right now. Think of a new word you recently learned. Can you connect it with something familiar? That connection is like a mental bridge. It makes the word easier to cross into your long-term memory. One of the most powerful ways to remember vocabulary is by putting words into a mini-story. Stories are like glue. They hold words together. For example, let's say you want to learn the words hungry, delicious, restaurant, waiter. Instead of memorizing them one by one, make a story. I was so hungry yesterday that I went to a restaurant. The waiter brought me delicious pasta C. Now the words are connected. If you forget one, the story helps you recall the others. Here's a challenge for you. Pick 3 to 4 new words today and create a mini story around them. Say it aloud, or even better, write it down. You'll be surprised how quickly they stick. Now let's talk about repetition, but not the boring kind. If you repeat a word 20 times in one day, you'll still forget it by tomorrow. But if you repeat it just a few times over several days, your memory gets stronger. This is called spaced repetition. For example, Day 1, learn the word and use it in 3 sentences. Day 2, review the word quickly. Day 4, use it again. Day 7, try it in conversation. This schedule is much more effective than cramming. Think of it like watering a plant. If you give it too much water in one day, it won't grow. But if you water it a little bit regularly, it becomes strong and healthy. Now I want you to pause and think, which of these tricks feels easiest for you? Visualizing, making associations, telling stories, or spaced repetition? Pick one method and try it with a new word today. Remember, vocabulary learning is not about being perfect. It's about being playful and consistent. And here's something interesting. Did you know that your daily habits can also affect how many words you actually remember? For example, the way you listen, read, and even the way you talk to yourself in English all play a role. So let's explore how you can build daily habits that naturally boost your vocabulary without even feeling like you're studying. So we've talked about some powerful memory tricks: visualization, associations, storytelling, and spaced repetition. But here's the truth. Techniques alone are not enough. What really makes the difference is your daily habits. The small things you do every single day can either make new words disappear or make them stay with you forever. Let's look at some habits that work beautifully even if you only have 10 minutes a day. Habit 1. The one-word diary. Every evening, take just one new word and write a tiny diary entry with it. You don't need to write a full page, just 2 or 3 sentences. For example, if your new word is grateful, you could write, "Today I am grateful because my friend helped me with homework. I feel grateful when people are kind to me." Simple, right? The diary becomes a safe place where you practice and personalize your vocabulary. And over time, you can look back and see how many words you've collected in your story of learning. Habit 2. Speak to yourself out loud. Yes, it might sound funny, but talking to yourself is one of the fastest ways to make words stick. Imagine you just learned the word excited. As you prepare breakfast, say to yourself, "I'm excited because today is sunny." Or, while getting ready for work, "I'm excited to wear my new shirt." The more you hear yourself using the word, the more natural it feels. And here's the secret. Your brain doesn't care if you're talking to another person or just to yourself. It still counts as practice. Habit 3. Reading with a purpose. When you read in English, whether it's a short article, a story, or even subtitles, don't try to remember every word. Instead, choose just 1 or 2 new words that really catch your attention. Highlight them, write them down, and then apply the memory tricks we talked about earlier. This way, you're not overwhelmed with 20 new words. You're slowly but surely building strong vocabulary that you'll actually remember. Habit 4. The 5-second review. Here's a fun one. Whenever you learn a new word, review it quickly several times during the day, but only for 5 seconds. For example, if your word is patient, pause in the morning, think of a sentence. "I need to be patient when I study English." Then in the afternoon, another quick review. "My teacher is very patient." At night, "Patience helps me stay calm." Each review takes only seconds, but together, they make the word unforgettable. Your phone can either distract you or become your best teacher. You can use apps like flashcards or simply set your phone wallpaper with a new word of the day. Imagine unlocking your phone and seeing the word optimistic all day long. By the evening, you'll know it by heart. Let me share a quick story. One of my students, Sarah, always complained that she forgot every new word within a week. But instead of trying to memorize long lists, she started a word of the day habit. Every morning, she picked just one word, wrote it in her diary, used it in 3 sentences, and tried to say it at least once in conversation. In 3 months, she had mastered around 90 words, and not just memorized them, but used them naturally. That's the power of consistent small habits. Now I want you to think about this. Which one of these habits can you start today? Don't try to do them all at once. Just pick one, maybe writing a diary or talking to yourself or quick reviews, and make it part of your daily routine. Here's the truth. Forgetting is normal. In fact, it's part of the learning process. Think about it. When a baby learns to walk, they fall again and again. Does that mean they failed? No, it means they're learning. The same is true for vocabulary. If you forget a word today, it doesn't mean you're a bad learner. It simply means your brain needs a little more practice with that word. So instead of feeling discouraged, smile and say, "Okay, I'll try again tomorrow." Remember this, Every word you learn is like a brick, and every day you practice, you're building a strong house of English. You might not see the house clearly in 1 week, but after a few months, you'll realize you've built something amazing. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't be afraid of forgetting. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Now here's what I want you to do. After listening to this episode, choose just one new English word. Write it down. Make 3 sentences with it. Connect it to an emotion or put it in a mini story. So, my dear learners, be patient, be playful, and most of all, be consistent. English is not learned in a single day, but with every new word, you're one step closer to fluency. Thank you for spending this time with me on Daily English Dose with Alia Mehar. I'm proud of you for showing up, for listening, and for choosing to invest in yourself. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, your words have power. Use them every day. Until next time, happy learning and take care.